Located in the southernmost tip of Nigeria, deep into the Atlantic Ocean on the idyllic Brass Island, with surrounding creeks and islands, the present-day Okpoama Kingdom is an investment destination and a tourist paradise. The combined equivalent of Venice in Austria, with an added advantage of a lengthy golden beach, and Seoul in South Korea, with another advantage of a sea route that is globally central for logistics, shipping and maritime activities. The lush mangrove forest lining the several meandering creeks and rivers, the quintessential communities. This is Okpoama City, the ancient architectural masterpiece, the capital of the kingdom. Okpoama City is strategically located as an administrative headquarters of the kingdom. Welcome to Okpoama town, the gateway community of the kingdom, being the first area of settlement by Okpo.
The ara eva maya ima ne miema eva ma ko da mo tun la de bi mere ni o bi ogbe na wogo miere wa wa gbo nto ro na wogo mo mi o ti meeting so mo won galaji ba mo na mo no gbe yo inde mewa ma me tun wa wa ma e Okpo ma wa me ba mo no Okpo ma ro so bo me ane gbe ni fiance ma gba e yo mo ga te mara ke wa misinterpret ma misunderstand ma wa mo ne wa ma no gbe ayawari na digbera wari mi o mi oni ro ti mo fo bi ama bo te ma ba ba ali oni ro ti mo fo bi ama bo te ma ba
Okpoama, the big heart community of the kingdom, is another developing town in the kingdom. Okpoama, otherwise called the glorious community of the kingdom, is home to all the pioneer educational and Christian institutions. Okpoama, also known as the community of harmony, is simply separated from Okpoama City by a rivulet. This fast-growing town, with its well-planned layouts, could be likened to the government reservation areas in the cosmopolitan cities around the world. Okpoama Island, the food basket of the kingdom, and many other settlements of the Okpoama kingdom along the creeks and beaches rival the natural beauty of the exotic islands of the Caribbean or the Far East. The low and high lovely tidal patterns, the distinct raining, dry and harmattan seasons against a relatively constant temperature provides for comfortable all year round lifestyle. With a very rich cultural heritage, constant increase in the number of quality hotels and associated businesses, relatively safe and secure environment, eco-friendly environment, overwhelming hospitality and friendliness, and an assured enabling environment created by the king, the kingdom is just poised to explode into the tourism and industrialized scenes of the world. The Okpoama Kingdom occupies an area of over 25 kilometers radius, comprising the towns, communities, satellite and related settlements, fishing villages, hamlets, surrounding forests, farmlands, swamplands, creeks and fishing grounds along the Atlantic coast of present-day Bayelsa State. It is bounded on the south by the Atlantic Ocean between an appurtenant to the Tonton Toru, the Brass River in the west to north, and St. Nicholas River on the east. The people, with a population of well over 20,000, predominantly engage in fishing activities before the advent of the white-collar and oil and gas exploration jobs. Though quite a few engage in commerce and trade, the average indigene of the Okpoama Kingdom is a fisherman. While the male engage in fishing of all magnitude, a greater number of the female folks engage in domestic manufacturing of items needed for fishing and preservation. According to radiocarbon dating, Okpo, the founder of Okpoama Kingdom, left Okpoama with his people in search of peace and security some 1,000 years ago, and first settled at Saikiri Pogu, present Okpoama location, and Okurukugu. And then Okpo later relocated to Kaiko, the present-day Okpoama city, because the former place does not provide the fortress he needed for the security of his people. The Okpo dynasty has so far experienced two categories of rulers in the kingdom's monarchical evolution. The first category being the gerontocratic era that started with Okpo, the founder of Okpoama, to Bouyai, who ended this era of rule by age, and the second being the ecclesiastical, priestly and theocratic era that started with King Urukari, when the kingdom, under the political control of the national deity of Kalauru Owe. In this arrangement, 4 offices and priests institutions, namely Urukari Osun, meaning presiding priesthood, Aguma Okuru, meaning ritual treasury priesthood, Pegiai Mina, meaning stool priesthood, and Eseni Efeke, meaning ritual mat or butler, entertainment priesthood, were put in place. Thus, the deity did not only provide a stable monarchical administration, but also chose the kings among Okpo's royal lineage and descendants that guaranteed the much-needed peace, as it were.
Live with confidence from day to day if he or she does not believe that certain laws will hold true. And having overcome the barbaric vices the society has to offer at that point in history, it became unnecessary to enshrine the African traditional religion in the community socio-political system.
After several fruitless efforts of introducing the Christian religion to the kingdom, Christianity was first subtly introduced to Okpoama in 1900. And in 1912, 12 great indigenes of Okpoama, led by Agada Obasi, defied all consequences to plant Christianity in Okpoama city, a stronghold of African traditional religion, as it were. This development brought significant progress within the families that accepted and practiced Christianity in particular, and the kingdom in general benefited from joining the League of Civilized Communities.
So it was formerly the first believers, you know, because they had to trek to Tonbras and Barnabas, to worship at St. Barnabas Church. Even then, you know, predominantly, this place was dominated by, you know, these juju and so on. And so they hardly allow anybody to mention anything Christianity or Christ.
Yes, during the African religion dominated era, the word religion means an awe of the gods. It was used to refer to powers both outside and within oneself that influences person's choice and action. But with the introduction of an additional belief system in the kingdom, the people became tolerant and searched for an ideal living. That is the basis of our lifestyle today.
In 2003, King Sagbe Okpo the 20th realized that even with the advent of Christianity, particularly the Anglican Communion and the Cherubim and Seraphim denominations in the kingdom for over 100 years, majority of the people have not come to terms with the gospel of Jesus Christ and decided to re-establish the kingdom with God by expanding the scope to include the Pentecostal churches. He then dedicated the kingdom to God by hoisting a white flag that stands for the kingdom's covenant with God Almighty.
A totally assured dedication of the kingdom, King Sagbe in 2007 initiated a constitutional governance in the kingdom. No little wonder, in 2010, after the death of King Sagbe, the people equipped with that new belief that the sky is only their takeoff point, as they look forward to a new king with a vision of global excellence.
In the earliest periods, fishing was done in the muddy and sandy rivers and creeks of the kingdom. Artifacts recovered from Saikipriogu, the first settlement, showed bones of fish shells of various species. These recovered artifacts are evident that the early settlers were not only fishermen but hunters. Kege, the main internal fishing flat, was shared among two of the elder 19th century leaders, namely King Urukari and Eseni. Increase in population brought increase and intensity of fishing activities. This caused scarcity of fish in the immediate vicinity, prompting going far in search of it. This necessitated the establishment of fishing villages and settlements away from home within the kingdom.
Of Okpoama Kingdom founded fishing villages at the bank of Tontoton, what is today called the Brass River, or to the Nimbe Ogulumangli area, and bounded with them. Some of these fishing villages are Upurubuka, Robaba, Otokolopu, Koreki, Itiki, Imbembeki, Proebo, Eganki, Kinosiki, Kindobobo, Abanki, Bogalabaraki, Sobu, Bogoki, Lenadiki, Degesiki, Upokoloki.
Upokolobe Krian, Upokolobe, Meon Fan, Uri Krimbo, Ekin Barat.
By my meal, by Numunaway, Tonto Road.
Hudson and many other fishing settlements that were established along the bank and in the creeks of that area until they bound with Nimbe Obergamri.
To illustrate the Okpoama kingdom, early occupation of lands and forests in and around the island will single out the history of Urubu Kiri. In its prime days, its long, clean, sandy beaches and shores planted with coconuts was an impressive sight. His Royal Majesty Ibitimi Banigo Okpo the 21st once lived on the island with his grandmother, Dua, and engaged in the fishing activities there while he was young. In the past, the kingdom diversified into the palm kernel trade. While the soil is good for cultivating the palm tree, the people in general are not farmers of this crop in the territory. Where they do, it is subsistent. However, they traded on oil palm and kernel. King Obasi, during his reign between 1845 and 1862, encouraged the people to engage in this trade. These palm oil and kernel were obtained and brought to the shore for sale to the white merchants. The islands are full of coconut plantations.
Coconut plantation cultivation has been one of the occupations of the Okpoama people. Though this may not be a native coconut itself, the plant coconut itself may not be a native of the island, but it came early to the Nimbe-speaking area. This is so because the palm kernel was of greater significance to the people than the coconut. The name given to the coconut is Beke Ubi, meaning English or white man's nut.
This indication is that, unlike the palm kernel, the coconut was foreign. Several persons cultivated coconut plantations in a subsistence way in several locations of the territory which form part of the local diet. Apart from the daily market and other trading activities, the kingdom plays host to the weekly market, which serves as a regional trade fair for the entire island and beyond, all the way to Yenagoa. An economic activity that is completely alien to the people has today become the avenue for wealth and prominence. Similar to the palm oil and kernel business is the crude oil exploration activities. Despite the discovery of oil by Tanico Oil Company in the 1960s, and with a vast reservoir of oil and gas, it is only of recent that the MPDC and CIPEC joint venture commenced oil drilling operations in the kingdom in OML 66.
My dear members of our delegation, we would like to thank you for
Though drilling rigs, marine services and oil explorations has always been an integral part of the ancient Okpoama kingdom, there are no considerable benefits to show for it. The ancient Okpoama kingdom is also a host to the Nigerian Ajib Oil Company, which has its tank farms and loading operations on the Brass Island for 4 decades. But with the advent of the Brass LNG, Okpoama Kingdom will join the League of Gas-Producing Kingdoms in the world.
Good luck for President.
With the establishment of the Hyundai fabrication plant in its territory, Okpoama Kingdom will also be playing host to the Hyundai fabrication plant and other major industries coming up soon. Like most communities in the Niger Delta, the communities in Okpoama Kingdom have also suffered from lack of world standard infrastructure. In terms of communications, rather than mourn the poor signal reception from distant radio and television stations, the Okpoama Kingdom evolved its own mode of communication, which has become a model to other kingdoms and communities. The kingdom was the first in the Niger Delta region to install and operate an internal communication system, namely the Okpoama, a system where information is relayed through well-positioned horn speaker modules mounted at strategic places within the kingdom.
Venue, sound hall. In the above D, Director, Aaron Kune.
Wa ni pagmore ma ni dikula sta itume ikiomete ama bare ko gbolome e biame wa me information center me wa me pagmore bare bote bolona fia ko bolo to akoko wa boloa ara yiro so aya resne wa boloa ite bolona fia ko ne boye wa o bolo ama me e ko birmo Netine duwa kura fata kura maka by the Kenya. What the Gimia maka by the Mia one and for my billion never come over the evil after to me and maintain me one latter.
Another innovative communication system that has become a pace setter is the community satellite cable television that has made the indigents of the kingdom to be well informed of global events. With the advent of the mobile communication system in Nigeria, the kingdom is privileged to have two networks operating in the kingdom. The ancient Okpoama Kingdom, however, has the slight advantage of having constant electricity supply from the Ajib turbines, a few concrete jetties, and a rusty, not-too-clean pipe-bomb water. In some of the communities, while majority of the settlements are still getting their source of drinking water from dug-out wells, and in some cases, they have to travel far to get this water due to environmental pollution. The kingdom is also playing host to the only functional airstrip in Bayelsa State, which will be upgraded to full operational status at commencement of the Brass LNG. Development flavor is taking a new dimension as construction work has at last commenced on the Nimbe Brass Road, which has been on the drawing board for over 30 years. On completion, it will link the kingdom to the mainland. There are other internal roads construction activities going on within the kingdom, coupled with a not too impressive housing development pace. Okpoama Kingdom is the home to the Bayelsa State College of Education. Though the kingdom has 2 secondary schools, 6 primary and several nursery schools, these schools are substandard and need to be completely overhauled to meet the aspiration of the people for a world-class education. Though the kingdom has recently refurbished the cottage hospital to set the tune for a public-private partnership,
is not still adequate.
The only means of transportation to and out of Okpoama Kingdom presently is on water and by air. Whereas the latter is only used by multinational companies, the former is prevalent in all Niger Delta communities. The evolution of marine transportation leaves the kingdom with two systems: the big wooden boats for heavy loads, farm produce and market items, while the medium and small size wooden boats are used for fishing and farming. The fiber-made speedboats are used for personnel and light loads carriage. The average transportation time from the kingdom to the mainland is between 1 to 3 hours. Culture is said to be the tourist commodity. The Okpoama Kingdom could be said to be synonymous with festivities. It is the only form of relaxation after the rigorous fishing activities as at then and even now. The various cultural dance and masquerade groups, the arts and entertainment groups and others can conveniently guarantee spectacular and eventful holidays. It is on record that Okpoama Kingdom has played prominent roles in protecting the Nimbi clan in the recent past. The people of Okpoama were brave enough to kill the jaguars that terrorized the clan. Again, the ancestors of this kingdom were the brave warriors who led the Nimbi clan in battles. It was Okpoama Kingdom's worship that needed to fire the first shot before other Nimbi clan members could partake in the battlefield. The role King Orukari of Okpoama Kingdom played in providing a safe haven and enthroning the Mingi dynasty in Okbolomabiri, Nimbi, thereby restoring peace in the Nimbi clan, cannot be overemphasized. In the entire Niger Delta, Okpoama Kingdom was said to have committed more men to the Nigerian military force during the Civil War to save the country from being disintegrated.
Indisputable facts. But despite our military might, Okpoama Kingdom has only shown restraint in the face of direct confrontation by its neighbors. Neighbors we have hitherto saved and protected.
As one of the executive committees of the kingdom, the Peace and Security Committee is saddled with the responsibility to work with relevant security operatives and authorities to ensure that lives and properties are safe within the kingdom and for the kingdom to live peacefully with her neighbors.
I came here, I reported here on the 9th, on the 11th, to cover as a new GP of Okpoama. In fact, I was transferred from Lagos by SSS, posted in and the kingdom is a wonderful kingdom. As you can see me, I'm very happy. Like they told me, when I go at this place, it's a troubled place, this and that. My men do not have walked their way out of this place. Why did they walk their way out of this place? They said they come here, sit down here, from morning till evening, no case is being reported. Yes, because the area is peaceful. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying here. The area is peaceful. Is it not where they are making trouble that people park themselves to the station? But here, it's very calm. I move along the street both in the night at any time. Nobody can molest you.
The Okpoama Atlantic Beach has been an avenue for revenue generation by the Okpoama Kingdom for decades. Its beaches are dotted with fishing villages and settlements. However, the Okpoama Beach Party and indeed the beach itself need development to meet international standards. One cannot be seen as too ambitious if the expectation is to elevate it to an international standard similar to Miami and other Asian beaches. Okpoama Kingdom, as a hallmark of ancient civilization, has evolved its own unique legal, legislative and administrative structure that is a model for good governance. The Amayana of Okpoama Kingdom is the paramount ruler with ultimate powers as the king. He also oversees the executive arm. The Okpoama Kingdom Council of Chiefs handles judicial matters as is the main advisors to the Amayanabo.
Amamo pagai kunema pagome alaware robodi alaware me bank por mo bara anba bete amamo tor kere ya e kaset bi ngumina e rato ngumina bawa pare bebe korea che baba ba alawar me ani ni moyo mo ba herba alawar to go bano ani me kormo mo.
While the Okpoama Kingdom Representative Council handles legislative issues.
Kurango trai karamo ogono bebo sono karamo enengo Okpoama ibenu ulugoton waremi Okpoama Kingdom Representative Council meeting is ordered. Now to the atio back bebe bense kiri. Iglo bukromo barek ye fare mi emu. Beri ne mo ye o. Kono bukamie obi mo ye ba obi on bukala bi o pa ye. Ani me resine o. Government man say boro
the Youth Council, the Elders Forum, the Middle Age, Women's Group, as well as the several cultural groups and age groups all provide inputs into the governance process.
Amamena grugrefie wa principal chisme wa tuyongume na ya niye ko wa bebe wome in 5 years en be bara wa ni in atu mati fere ma monte ti me tin ba me wa ke imam ye bu ma lam te bara 5 years be ke amna la pin pere en ya ko afirmo fere ala le mo bon mon de
and the youths in the society today are faced with so many challenges, and we are also saddled with so many responsibilities. If you look around the society today, there are so many dropouts of youth in our society, non-availability of jobs, and the moral standard is falling in our society. Therefore, the youth are saddled with the responsibility of reorientating the youth, our colleagues in the society, for them to understand the position of things in the society and to meet up with the challenges. The areas of education, the non-availability of jobs in our society. To cushion these effects, the youth of Okpoama Kingdom have embarked on so many activities. One is in the area of bringing resource persons to come and lecture the students, holding seminars and workshops to know the right direction to take. Those of them in school, we provide them with counseling sessions for them to know the kind of subjects they have to do in school. And then the dropouts too, we organize part-time programs for them, vocational training for them in the areas of welding, hairdressing, computer literacy, and various skills, seamstresses, to enable them meet up and live in the society we are today.
The ultimate powers of the kingdom are vested in the Ibiko Biriai, the Kingdom General Assembly presided over by the Amayanabo.
So I will correction me about Wapa and the canton me.
With our proud heritage and well-established governance structure, the installation of a new king of the ancient Okpoama Kingdom has enabled the kingdom to launch a vision of global excellence, a vision of self-sustaining global green communities that can contribute to the advancement of humanity in all spheres of endeavor, culture, technology, and quality of life.
You see, Okpoama is a highly endowed place with able-bodied, intelligent men and women, a long stretch of coastline, marine resources, solid land. We have almost all it takes. The new king is taking it even further with a whole transformation plan being put into place. So with this kind of organization, I think the future this is the place to be for industrialists, tourists. I think people should begin to look towards this place, especially with even an airstrip that is soon going to be developed into a more capable place for carrying various sizes of aircraft. This is the place to look for investors, I think. I cannot see a better place in Nigeria at this time to look for growth and expansion.
Since politics came in 1999 till today, Okpoama has been transformed. So many things have been done. You can see roads, water system, electricity, and so many other things that I cannot mention precisely now. And I think with the coming in of the political era too, so many of our sons and daughters has been going to different schools, getting scholarship to overseas and all the rest of them. So I want to say that I think the democratic system has done a lot to the Okpoama man.
Equipped with such a vision, the kingdom have launched several programs, including the Okpoama Kingdom Global Excellence Program, OKGEP. These are some of the programs systematically executed by the Ibobo Palace. Upon assumption of office, Her Royal Majesty Queen Pelebo Banigo started with the children, the future of the kingdom, by providing them T-shirts with the inscriptions, "I love Okpoama Kingdom."
Evidence, I'm from Okpoama. I love Okpoama so much. I don't want to think of what Okpoama will do for me, but what I will do for Okpoama.
Hoping this will resonate with them. Secondly, her position on the girl child has thrown the issue of good parentage into public discourse.
propaganda. You bought a talking on my way. Come on and talk on the morning field. The boyana, everyone in Yava, the morning will talk like a bona, your mammy and your man, a book was fair. Look at it, talk and federal doing it. And there's been one old woman and the morning by in the mama, federal doing it. I never going to be more like a so, at a baby, if you are Bagana, I see, and all my detail, talk of me. I can hear me now, fear you not. Me and I talk of me, it was so well.
As part of the Global Excellence Program, the Kingdom embarked on a Global Excellence Tour. The objectives of the tour aspect is to expose indigents to different physical and cultural experience and to assist in modeling their ideals and dreams from shared development experience to the reality of accelerating the Kingdom transformation to first world status and beyond. In the course of the tour, participants are availed the opportunity to experience different development standards in architecture, urban planning, infrastructure, education, health, tourism, technology, ICT, the arts and entertainment, economic activities, discipline, rules, and governance. The tours focused on areas of interest relevant to our developmental programs. The tour participants were made to feel free to point out areas of interest and provide inputs to improve the value of the programs. Above all, the participants are the ambassadors of this great kingdom and must at all times conduct themselves to promote the proud heritage and cultural value as one of the great kingdoms of the world in pursuit of global excellence. As a seasoned and astute economist, the Harvard University trained banker par excellence and former minister in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Royal Majesty Dr. Ibitimi Emmanuel Banigo, Order of the Federal Republic, Okpoama the 21st collective wealth of the kingdom, and it shall be managed by a world-class investment bank.
Okpoama Kingdom, a global community within Nigeria, a place for all. I once again say, let the experiment begin to build on the Niger Delta shores a community that pursues man's greatest dreams for happiness. We have developed a master plan to create a green environment and drawn strategic plans to transform our kingdom to world standard in line with Nigeria's National Vision 2020.
With a mission to provide every citizen of Okpoama Kingdom the opportunity to fulfill his or her ambition for a peaceful, secure, self-fulfilling, successful life in a clean environment, the kingdom is executing a strategic master plan to develop a green community and provide full education and employment, world-class infrastructure, as well as the pursuit of global excellence in hospitality, oil and gas, marine technology, aquaculture, and ICT to achieve world standard in line with our national vision of 2020.
Nice